Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. My name's Amy, and today we're making the classic of classics, the legendary tomato basil soup and grilled cheese sandwiches, because I don't know if there's anything that goes with tomato soup quite as well as a grilled cheese. And since it's getting cooler out there, soup is definitely still on the menu, so let's get cooking. We'll start with the tomato soup since this has just a little bit of prep. Start by dicing up a handful of fresh basil leaves and a quarter to half of a yellow onion because we need about a cup of diced onion for this. Now over to the oven, and we need a non-reactive medium saucepan like stainless steel, an enameled Dutch oven, or ceramic. You don't want to use cast iron without enamel because the metal reacts with the acidity in the soup. A metallic flavor can leach into the soup and the acidity in this soup can damage the pan. So to our saucepan, add 2 tablespoons of butter and melt that down over medium heat. Pour in the diced onion and saute this, stirring it pretty often, for about 10 minutes until the onions are nice and soft and just starting to get a little golden. Add in about a half tablespoon of either crushed or minced garlic, about 2 cloves worth, and saute the garlic, stirring constantly for this so it doesn't burn, for about 30 seconds until it gets fragrant. You'll know, the garlic smell just sort of hits you all of a sudden. Pour in 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 1 cup of chicken or vegetable broth, a tablespoon of sugar, a small handful of the chopped basil, an eighth maybe to a quarter cup, but this can be to taste, and about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, although this one can be to taste too. Give all of this a good stir and then bring it to a gentle boil. When it boils, turn the heat down to medium-low or even low if you need to, and simmer this for about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally to keep things from scorching. After the soup has simmered for at least 10 minutes, pull it off the heat and add in half a cup of heavy cream or half and half, as well as about a third cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Stir everything up until the cheese is melted, and now this is the point to test for any seasoning you might need. I added a good sized pinch of salt and a little bit more sugar because the soup was still just a little too acidic for my taste. The sugar helps to balance that out. You can also add more cream if you want an even creamier soup. This end process is largely to make your taste buds as happy as they can possibly be. Now this last step is optional, depending on how you like your soup. You can keep it as is and have a chunkier type of tomato soup, or you can grab an immersion blender and blend it all up until it's nice and smooth. You can also use a regular blender and blend it in batches. Just be careful not to have piping hot flying tomato sauce everywhere. When you're happy with the consistency, the soup is finished and ready for dinner. But wait, we need our grilled cheese. So let's whip up some really easy yet perfectly crispy and cheesy grilled cheese sandwiches. I have 3 kinds of cheese here, some sourdough bread slices, butter, and mayo. Mayo, you ask? Absolutely. Now, butter is the traditional spread for the outside of a grilled cheese sandwich, but did you know that mayonnaise is awesome and gives a grilled cheese sandwich such a nice, tangy flavor? It's fabulous. So we're making one with butter and one with mayo. And here's another hint for all of us crazies out here. You can even use Miracle Whip. I know, it's blasphemy, but there it is. So as per the usual, we want to spread butter or mayo or Miracle Whip on the outside of the bread slices. We're also using sourdough slices, which makes phenomenal grilled cheese sandwiches. Then grab some sliced cheese, and I have Gouda, sharp cheddar, and Swiss here. I love cheese, so I'm going with 3 slices on each sandwich. 1 with 2 cheddar and 1 Swiss, and 1 with 2 Gouda and 1 cheddar. While I was getting the bread ready, I also had my pan warming up over medium-low heat. We want to heat the pan first because putting the butter bread in a cold pan can result in really soggy, greasy bread that just doesn't want to toast, since the bread is going to soak up the butter as it melts while the pan heats up. So when the pan is hot, we're going to place 1 bread slice, mayo or butter side down, then the cheese, and the other slice, mayo or butter side up. Now here's the rub. For a long time, I had an issue with grilled cheese sandwiches. So many times, the bread just got too dark before the cheese fully melted. So I started putting a lid on the pan while I was heating it up and then putting the lid back on when the sandwiches were cooking, and they come out perfect every single time. The lid traps the heat so the cheese melts more quickly, but it also traps moisture so the sandwich doesn't dry out. Keep the lid on and check the sandwiches every minute or so until one side is nice and toasted. Then flip it and pop the lid back on until the second side is toasted. The cheese will probably be almost done when you're flipping it, so you never run the risk of toasted bread and cold, unmelted cheese. Look at those sandwiches. Perfectly toasted, the cheese is melty all the way through. These are just beautiful. Now just serve it all up. Sprinkle some shredded Parmesan on the tomato soup for a little extra flavor and because it's pretty, and dinner is served. This tomato soup is so fresh and flavorful. It has that beautiful tomato flavor with the herbiness of the basil and the sugar. It balances out the acidity perfectly, but the soup isn't sweet. It's just fresh and savory without being too tangy. A little tang is good, but too much, and the soup can have an almost metallic taste, but this definitely does not go overboard there. And the grilled cheese, oh, toasted to perfection, but not dry, fully melted cheese. It's a perfect dipping vehicle for our soup. Now my favorite was the Gouda, but my husband, he just loves his Swiss cheese and mayo. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. It really helps out my channel. What are your favorite cheeses for this iconic classic sandwich? Stay tuned too, because this Wednesday, we're making more Thanksgiving sides, and this week is gonna be epic. You will be so stuffed, you won't be able to move. Get it? Stuffed. Okay, we're making 2 fabulously epic versions of stuffing this week, so you really don't want to miss that. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Sunday for some more comforting, cozy home cooking. Bye.